This is not your usual State of Decay 2 stream from me. This is State of Decay 1. This is the game that Undead Labs finished right before they hired me. And I got involved making the expansion packs, making the Year 1 Survival Edition, adding things like rucksacks in the trunks of cars, adding Cleo to the game. And so normally I don't stream State of Decay 1. It's kind of an old game, and I've gotten really used to State of Decay 2. In fact, I think you can expect me to be terrible at this. But one of my viewers, JediPsychTricks, put in a request using, spending some of her channel points that I try out this game, that I play this game in front of everybody. So we'll give it a try. It has been ages since I've done this. So we've got 3 different, versions of State of Decay that you can play here in the Year 1 Survival Edition. You've got original State of Decay, original flavor. You've got Breakdown, which was our sort of almost roguelike shaped game, where you're constantly going to a map, and each time you switch maps, the difficulty escalates, and you got to accomplish certain things in a map before you can move on to the next one. And I say next map, it's the same map repeated again and again. That's what we had. And then Lifeline was the first new map we added to State of Decay, which was sort of a more urban map, though you're really on sort of the beltway around a town, just dealing with, suburban type areas around, around the city center. You never could go inside the city center because resources. But this was the part of the State of Decay, the original State of Decay story that I actually wrote and was heavily involved with. So I've got a kind of a personal attachment to it. But because the Homecoming update just came out, and because everyone's sort of enjoying going back and seeing more stories in Trumbull Valley, I feel like the right version of the game to play right now is original flavor State of Decay. So let's give that a try. So I don't even remember where I was in sort of playing the game. We only had one save slot in the original State of Decay. It was folks have been asking us for more save slots in State of Decay 2, which we're friendly to that idea. Would like to do it. But it's funny to think actually having 3 save slots was a big addition to the franchise. Excuse me. Originally, we only had 1. So because I've got no investment in whatever was going on in my State of Decay story, I guess we'll just start a brand new game from scratch. Cogs, no, we're not going to bring sidearms to State of Decay 1. We're never going to update this game again. Someday, a decade from now, if somebody wants to do a, remake, fine. But we're not going to crack this code open. It's done. It's in the bag.
Holy shit, man! Holy shit!
Ah, Ed. No!
Hold on, I'm coming.
Get off, Ed!
Dude, I think these guys want to eat us.
Okay.
You okay?
One of those psychos tried to bite me, but yeah, I'm fine.
Well, we can't just stay out here in the open, that's for damn sure.
Ranger station?
Ranger station. Maybe we can find some help there.
What the hell, man? We've gone 2 weeks and what? Everybody takes up cannibalism?
Beats me. Here they come!
It's so funny because so much of the perspective and style of this game is related to State of Decay 2, so I keep expecting it to be like State of Decay 2, because I've forgotten all of my old habits for how fast things move, how you control things. All of it is
Hold up.
kind of expired.
These guys look messed up too.
Yeah. Stay low and keep quiet. Maybe we can get past them without being spotted.
Okay, yeah, so things I've been forgetting. For instance, holding LB and hitting Y in order to execute a zombie instead of just tapping Y. I have to remind myself to do that. Also, holding B to not just dodge but go into crouch. That's another action that that we've since sort of moved past in State of Decay 2. Oh, unfortunately, that zombie was facing the wrong direction, so we didn't really get to use stealth. And I think that was probably just a technical limitation. We just didn't have the ability to point zombies in a specific direction. So there's the ranger station. Wow. So I've gotten really used to the way it looks in State of Decay 2 now, with our sort of modern lighting model and everything else about it that makes it feel modern. This game, it's interesting. So it looks old-fashioned, but they chose the team that originally built it chose an aesthetic that looks a little bit. It's not like cell shaded or anything, but it's got this a little bit of a comic book aesthetic to it, where the colors are they're just a little bit washed out, and it makes it feel like it's not meant to be hyper realistic. You kind of expect it to feel a little sketchy and comic booky, and so sort of the technical limitations of the time feel right instead of feeling like limitations.
Man, can anybody tell me what the hell is going on?
What's going on is there's more of them up here than I expected. We need to sweep the rest of the cabins for survivors. I've got injured people here I have to tend to.
Okay, we'll see what we can do.
We will? I appreciate it. There's a water tower out back that has a good view of the campgrounds. Might be worth your while to climb up there and have a look around first. We've got some supplies in the locker over there. Take what you need and stay safe out there.
Oh, good old Thomas Ritter. He only gets a brief little bit in the story there. I'm definitely going to just grab everything I can. Yeah, he doesn't get to spend very long in the story. But, he makes an impact. He's still memorable to this day. So, we've got, looks like, is it just a... For a second I thought it was a cricket bat, but no, I think it's just a piece of wood. All right, so there is the water tower. So actually, one of my strongest memories of playing State of Decay 1 the first time was of this water tower. Because I came up here with, I think it was Ed, to get Thomas Ritter's watch for Lily, which is, one of the more memorable missions. And, of course, the ranger station was completely infested, and actually I was overwhelmed. There was just too many zombies. I couldn't deal with them. So I had to climb up here, and I was completely treed by the zombies. Like, they were just surrounding this place.
I'm there. Gonna take a look around.
Yeah, so searching each of these sites takes about as long as it did when State of Decay 2 first shipped, but we've since sped it up in State of Decay 2, so it's weird going back to the old timing. We just realized there's nothing you're doing during this delay that really makes a difference to your experience, a positive difference, so why not make it happen faster? What am I missing there? Ooh, the vehicle. A Norma!
That's all there is to see. You hear that?
Uh-oh.
Gunshots. Yeah. Guess we're not the only ones having a bad day.
Ah, Ed! No, Ed, it's fine. Come on back down. So Airy Twitch is asking, can you highlight some of the different options from 2 when you can? I can't find any tutorials for it. I'm not sure what you mean different options. What kinds of different options do you mean? Okay, so I can search these sites, but I can also go down here and see the distant gunshots. I think I'd rather go see those distant gunshots, because that's where I meet an additional character, and that could help with any threats. So you'll notice that they introduce you to weapon degradation really fast. Your first weapon that you have is in really bad shape. This stick is already not worth it. I could destroy it. You weren't allowed to drop things. We added drop bags in State of Decay 2. That was not a thing. Like, if you wanted to drop something, you just had to destroy it or put it in your supply locker at home. You'll notice, by the way, that I've got a close combat weapon. In the original State of Decay 2, in the original State of Decay 1, having a close combat weapon was not a thing. This, little backup knife, we actually added this in the Year 1 Survival Edition. This whole set of animations where I'm, knifing this zombie ineffectually, that arrived with the Year 1 Survival Edition in, 2015. Originally, this is what it looked like if you were fighting without a weapon. You were just doing the can-can. Just, kicking zombies. Just kick, just doing high kicks all the time. And that was a little bit weird. And so it was mostly just because that looked bad that we decided to add the knife. And then later on, that became like a whole alternate, combat style in State of Decay 2. Oh, so Area Twitch is talking about like bases or outpost options. Yeah, so I don't think I'm the best person to like to offer I don't know, voluminous documentation of all the different things you could, like strategic choices you could make in State of Decay, just because it's not the way I think generally about any video game. I'm not very good at sort of like filling my head with a spreadsheet of information and then relaying it. Usually I tend to be a little bit more of a shoot from the hip type person. So folks like say,
Incoming!
whoa, we're way up above Maya. Can I jump down here? Whee! No, she's falling down. Like Jawafawa is a much better person to ask for that kind of thing from than me, because he actually does think like a super hardcore player who's got like a bunch of really clear and well-informed opinions about the best bases, the best outposts, the best strategies. I guess I'll let Maya deal with them. She's got infinite ammo. I keep forgetting that I've got the I got that move. Take that, zombie. Wait, this one's still alive over here? I see a red dot. Oh, there he is. There we go.
Holy shit, are you okay?
You mean aside from being lost in the woods, attacked by psychopaths, and watching two of my best friends die? Yeah, I'm peachy.
Sorry I asked.
So, is it this bad everywhere?
Man, I hope not. We got some survivors back at the ranger station that seem to know what's going on, but we didn't have time for orientation.
Well then, let's get the hell back there.
Love the idea, but we got kinda volunteered to check a couple other places for survivors first.
Just think of it as payback for the time that you volunteered us for the running of the bulls in Pamplona.
Okay then.
City Slickers
You wanna
reference,
take point,
sort of.
Or should I?
Oh, so I can switch to Maya if I want to.
What's the word?
Now I'm Maya, and I have a gun.
You wanna know what worries me? They're setting up an infirmary in there. Like, why aren't they taking these people to a hospital or something?
I don't know, man. The whole situation's pretty messed up.
So, those of you who've only played State of Decay 2,
Dark towers?
That's not a bad idea.
do you recognize Marcus's voice?
We need to make things safer around here.
That is the voice of Sasquatch in State of Decay 2. We love that guy, and so we wanted to make sure that even if Marcus wasn't going to translate over into State of Decay 2, we wanted to make sure that at least one character voiced by him can make it in. So we had created Sasquatch for Lifeline, and so we brought Sasquatch over instead, because even though either Sasquatch or Marcus could die in the original State of Decay, we figured that if anybody could, basically make a claim that rumors of their death have been greatly exaggerated, probably Sasquatch is the one who could pull that off. Ranacord is suggesting that maybe people would want to see the map and my health. So yeah, we'll try moving up here. Thing is, this game has got a similar problem to State of Decay 2, which is there's no good corner. All of the corners are taken up by some amount of UI, and part of that is just, there's a lot we need to show, and so it would be hard to get away without using almost every corner. But at the same time, I don't know. I feel like more thought could have been put into that to make sure that streamers have always got a place to stick their heads. So we could go back to the ranger station, but we've also been volunteered to scavenge. And even though I'm pretty sure the bad things that are going to happen at the ranger station have already happened, I still want to go scavenging a little bit. Looks like we might have picked up a tail. Hey, guys. Yeah, that whole deal where your companion can grab a zombie and then you can instantly kill the zombie, that was kind of a neat move. Don't have that in State of Decay 2.
Sounds like I've got company.
You know, for a co-op game, we kind of don't have as many sort of co-op behaviors for the characters as you'd think. Maybe that's something we should think about for future iterations in the franchise. Yeah, Cogs, I know that a lot of people do use... Sunny Games uses left middle. I think that Fall Down Go Boom also puts his head in the left middle. I don't... I basically... The way that I've set up my streaming presentation... that seems like a zombie that wants to kill me. The way that I've set up my streaming presentation, I've set it up so that... Oh, well, for one thing, I don't use my green screen except for the Undead Lab streams, just because it's just a lot of setup and it's a lot to worry about, and I just kind of don't want to deal with it. The whole point of these streams is that they're casual, and that I don't have to put a ton of effort into them. I probably couldn't do them if they took more effort. So, and because I'm a big old box, anywhere besides a corner just feels kind of weird. So I've set it up so that I can easily switch corners on the fly, and I can just kind of stick my head anywhere. But I think adding 2 more options to stick myself in like middle positions, or like 4 more options to stick myself in middle positions, just feels like it would just fill up my stream deck, and I've already got all those buttons accounted for. So I'd rather just stick with the 4. And so even if I have to move around on the fly, I mean, that's what the stream deck is for. That feels better to me than needing to come up with so many different positions to stick my head in. Don Raven King, I'm glad that you like this game. Okay, so I've already filled up my inventory, and I think that might be all we can do. So let's head back to the ranger station. I'm sure nothing will have gone wrong.
I got nothing left.
That Davo guy's wondering if we have voice actors from Apex Legends and State of Decay 2. I wouldn't be surprised. I've got no idea what other games a lot of those folks have been in.
What the hell?
I thought you said you had survivors holed up in here.
They were fine just a minute ago.
Well, obviously not anymore.
Guys, come on. We gotta at least check the place. Somebody might have survived.
Oh no. Oh no, what's gonna happen?
He's gone.
Yep, he's dead. Oh well. I guess we'll get up and leave.
Well, let's see if he's got a wallet on him or something.
What the hell, Ed?
To check his ID, for Christ's sake.
Oh, you see him twitch? Ah! No!
Get it off! Get it off! Get it off! Help! That guy was dead. I swear to God, that guy, he was dead. How the hell does that happen?
I don't know, man. Doesn't make sense.
We can't stay here. Come on, let's grab what we can and get moving.
I love that we've maintained our cutscene fidelity over time. Like, it's just always people standing around talking to each other. We just have not invested in the tech to make that work better. All right, time to go. So, it's saying we should get out of here. Now, I think, one thing I forgot to check before, but, like, I think we were not allowed to get into this vehicle.
So, where are we going?
I don't know. I guess we just head to town and try to find somebody.
Yeah, or... Well, I kind of took that guy's walkie-talkie. Maybe we can race somebody on that.
Jesus, Ed, why did you do that?
I don't know. I figured if he had a radio, there must be somebody on the other end.
So you robbed a dead guy, and you expect his friends to help us out?
Wait, who says they're his friends? I mean, maybe they didn't even really like the guy.
Dad? Dad, are you there?
Uh-oh.
Oh, shit.
Hello? Can you hear me? Listen, we're stuck up here on Mount Tanner. My friend needs medical attention. Can you help us?
Can you make it down to Spencer's Mill? Some of us are holed up at the church. If your friend doesn't look too dicey, we'll let you in.
The church in Spencer's Mill. We're on our way. We'll, try not to look too dicey.
Okay, let's go. Yeah, so originally you were not allowed to drive this car. I love that your first car is like one of our classics that everybody loves, the Norma. Also, this bridge is out. In State of Decay 2, in that version of Trumbull Valley, we fixed it. But, oh no! Oh. It is possible to jump that. I failed just now, but it is possible to jump it. Unfortunately, I think we've just got that Norma destroyed. Oh, get off me. Because turning a vehicle upside down in State of Decay 1 was inevitable destruction. As soon as you walk away from the vehicle, it blows up. I love there's another car here that tried the same thing that we did. One thing you'll notice is that we don't have a lot of button prompts in the HUD. You see down there, like by where I just used the medicine, there's nothing on that medicine saying that RB is how you trigger it. You have to learn it in a tutorial. You have to know it. And in one way, that actually allowed us to make UI cleaner. It made more room for things like sort of the diegetic stuff we've got going on in this UI, like the fact that it looks like a journal, for instance. If you're doing a lot less of that sort of baseline communication, you got more room for stuff like that. But these days, especially just recognizing, I think we've learned a lot about people's play patterns and realize that, a lot of people, there's some people who play almost nothing but State of Decay, but most people play a variety of different games, and it's really easy when you're between games.
We're headed your way.
Just forget how things work,
What the hell's happening around here?
You haven't heard?
No cell reception up at the lake. Hold up. Let's take care of this first.
But yeah, if you're playing a lot of different games, it's very easy to forget what was going on
Reception up at the lake.
in the last game you played.
Guess you could say we've been out of the loop.
All we know is a bunch of crazy people tried to eat us.
It started, 12, 13 days ago? At first it was just weird stories on the news. Random maulings, violent incidents at hospitals, black helicopters in the sky. Just strange stuff. I guess they were trying to keep it quiet, but that didn't last too long. People figured it out pretty quick. People who die, they don't stay dead. They come back as one of those things.
I told you that guy was dead.
Seems like the only way to stop them for good is with a shot to the head. Anything else, they just keep coming.
So you're saying those things are zombies?
I don't know. Maybe it's some kind of messed up supervirus. Maybe it's radiation from outer space. Or black magic. Or the wrath of almighty frickin' God. Your guess is as good as mine.
So wait a minute. What's the government's response to all this? Haven't they sent in the National Guard or something?
The government? You don't get it. It's been total chaos. At first, they told us just to stay home, lock our doors, and wait for the all clear. Then the power died. No one ever sounded the all clear.
Yeah, I paused here for a second because I wanted to kind of highlight some of the differences in Trumbull Valley. This whole area it's woods and like small buildings like nestled in the woods, but it's mostly just woods. So there's this long sort of road route down towards Spencer's Mill that is mostly here just to give you time to listen to that conversation with Lily, who's being introduced for the first time here, which is kind of fun. You got a bunch of extra cars too in case you just wreck your car. I haven't wrecked my car. I've painted it a new shade of red by hitting as many zombies as I could. But yeah, in the new version of Trumbull Valley, like the artist really fleshed this entire area out. It's actually much more settled and developed, and it gives us, basically there's more reasons for players to come up here now. Yeah, so we actually have a different actress playing Lily now in State of Decay 2. Original Lily actually moved to
How'd you
Europe.
end up on this frequency?
Just lucky, I guess. It was pretty chaotic up at the lake.
You're not gonna tell her?
I don't know yet.
Dude, it's her dad.
You want to confess that we killed her father and stole his radio before they patch you up?
Yeah, okay, maybe we leave that part out.
But yeah, so the original actress who played Lily was married to the writer of a lot of these lines that you're hearing, and so the two of them they took jobs, I believe, in Sweden, and so they they ran off up there, and so we were not able to get original Lily for State of Decay 2. So we got a sound-alike actress, and she's actually done a pretty amazing job.
Lily, did you invite these strangers?
Brent Fitzgerald's voice.
Good. You made it.
That one doesn't look so good.
Name's Ed. Pleased to meet you.
Come with me, son. We'll see to those.
God damn it! We got enough trouble without bringing in another freeloader to use up all our medicine.
Real nice, Alan. I offered them shelter. I'm letting them in. Us freeloaders have to stick together.
Girl's got the common sense God gave a tree stump. You're worse than your brother.
Come on, I'll give you the nickel for it.
I've gotten this side of Brant before, yeah. So JediPsychTricks, yeah, Brant plays Alan Gunderson. He also plays Doghouse in Lifeline. We had to go all Union for State of Decay 2, so he couldn't do a voice in State of Decay 2, or we totally would have tried to persuade him to do it.
I spend most of my time here, using the radio to coordinate everyone.
Yeah, this has all been turned into like a trading post in State of Decay
Next
2.
up's the kitchen. Sam's our unofficial in-house chef, but, well, there's only so much anybody can do with canned soup and pork rinds. Seriously, though, rule number 1, all the food stays in here and it stays sealed. You wouldn't believe how fast rats get into things otherwise. We learned that one the hard way.
Ari Twitch says, that's what makes State of Decay 1 so fun. It's listening to Brant yell.
Hope you don't mind sharing. We're pretty tight on space here. Alan's been saying we should move to someplace bigger, but my dad's a carpenter, and he says we could build like a dorm room or something to get more space.
How many people do you have here?
I think you've met just about everybody, except maybe my brother and my dad. They're out scouting for supplies, I think. I haven't heard from them in a while.
How do you feel?
So sad.
Somebody took a weed whack in my fucking neck.
We may have something here for the pain.
This sequence is so well orchestrated.
Concerned about this fever. Could be a sign of infection. We'll need to get Dr. Hansen. I'll see if I can get him on the radio.
Thanks, I appreciate the hospitality.
Do not forget to entertain
Well,
strangers.
that part is a little
By
less well
so
orchestrated,
doing,
but you know.
Some have unwittingly entertained angels.
How about that? I might be an angel.
I don't know. I love the writing in this sequence, and I love the way that this sort of they've laid out the base so that you follow Lily through, and then as you're leaving Lily, you can see through the window this conversation. It sort of pulls you over. So you're not required, like no one forces your hand, but you still sort of absorb all the information, and you sort of feel like you're a little bit of, a fly on the wall for a lot of stuff that's going on here in the base.
Look, I didn't want to say this in front of your friend, but fever is a bad sign, especially after a bite. Pastor Will's going to try and get Doc Hansen to come down and take a look at him, but if he doesn't get some antibiotics, he's probably not going to make it. If it comes to that, I promise Alan will take care of him. Bullet to the brain before he turns. It's for the best.
Jesus, Lily, he's not a rabid dog.
Don't you get it? More of us didn't make it than did. We can't be soft-hearted about this. Not anymore. We need medicine here anyway. You can't be sick. You understand? No one can be sick.
So that's it, huh? Nice to meet ya. Would you prefer to be shot in the face or kicked out on your asses?
No, it's... Okay, look. We're barely hanging on here as it is. Medicine was some of the first stuff to run out. We don't have any to spare for your friend. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is.
What if I find some more? Will that pay our rent?
Yeah, okay, sure. If you can find a place to get more medicine, I'll make sure your friend has a place to stay.
His name is Ed.
I know. If you need to resupply before you head out, check the locker.
Nobody minds if you're getting shit done and you need extra stuff. Just don't take shit you haven't earned.
That's right. So influence was actually spent inside a community to get stuff out of the supply locker.
There's a cell tower behind the swine and bovine. From up there, you should be able to get a good look at the town. Maybe you'll spot some place to find medicine.
Appreciate it.
Just hurry, okay? I'm not sure how long I can rein Alan in.
Okay, so I don't think I've got a backup melee weapon, so I've just got this kind of busted axe that hopefully will be enough. So Don Raven King asks, why did Undead Labs make the decision to remove barricades on windows? So it wasn't a decision to remove them. Because we were building the entire game of State of Decay 2 from scratch in a different engine, it was a question of whether to include them, whether to add them. Because by default, of course, any new game has no features. And so you got to decide what is worth adding. And barricades in particular, to do them to the level of fidelity we were trying to go for, the level of visual fidelity, would take a lot of custom work in every single site in the game. And so the question was, well, what are barricades worth? Why do you need barricades in the game? I should head over here. Okay. And the answer to that was they don't actually accomplish a whole lot. By the way, it's weird not having official parking spaces.
Jeez, I don't know.
Yeah, so what was I saying? Yeah, so we had to decide whether to add them. And so honestly, like, barricades, while they were a neat, like, part of zombie lore, you see people building barricades all the time, strategically they weren't actually all that useful. Like, on a fundamental level, like, they didn't make that much of a difference. And in order to make sure they made a difference, they would need to be made an even more elaborate feature. And so looking, we were staring down the barrel of needing to ship this game with a lot of things still kind of buggy and janky. And so the question of, are we going to add this huge feature that, is going to take tons and tons of time and resources away from everything else and has dubious value in the game? We were just like, we had to cut it. We had to cut it in favor of other things. So we did think about including it, but, part of the job was going to be figuring out how to change the feature to make it more valuable, which was also going to make it even more expensive and just made it even more cuttable.
At first it just seemed like the place to go, End of the world and all that. Then we started hearing about how bad it was getting. Other people tried to go it alone and it ended up, well, we just sort of stayed here after that.
Just the 6 of you?
No. There used to be 12 of us.
So cars used to be a lot more resilient in State of Decay 1. I think as we went into Breakdown, I think we started making them more fragile at the higher levels of Breakdown, which, eventually inspired, the fact that we...
Looks like a good vantage point up there.
We made them get more fragile as you advance in difficulty levels in State of Decay 2. Yep, Doom, that's true. This is the restaurant where Isby's quest keeps repeating. I cannot wait until that hotfix lands so that stops being the only thing I hear about the Homecoming update. I understand it's really annoying, and I'm very sorry.
Take a look around.
It's tough because from my perspective, I fixed that bug over a week ago. And so I'm just waiting for when it's the right time to issue that hotfix, which, has to go through a process, understandably, before it can be released. Favorite gun shop. I believe I've outposted that in my game in State of Decay 2.
There we go.
Got a bunch of vehicles. An enclave is up there. Got a screamer.
I've located a zombie infestation.
And an infestation. Fork in the Road Diner can actually be explored.
Hey, what's that? Looks like a vet's office or something.
Oh yeah, Dr. Gilroy's clinic. What about it?
Well, antibiotics for dogs aren't any different than antibiotics for people. And it looks like no one's broken in.
That's a good idea. Okay, sounds like it's worth checking out. Hang on, I've got a transmission company. I'm sending Alan and Sam to meet you at the clinic.
Alan. Gee, thanks.
It was that, or let him stay here and keep grumbling about kicking you and Ed out.
Point.
All right, so yeah, we can head over to the vet clinic to get our horse paste for Ed.
Do me a favor, don't come driving up like a dumbass.
What Alan's trying to say is cars make noise. Zeds like noise. Plus, they don't exactly go on trees, and we only got so much fuel to keep them running. So we gotta be careful about when we use them.
Okay, so I'm gonna do this. So new players of the game. Is anything in the back? Nope. New players of the game often get the impression that you really need to not use vehicles. At this point, when Alan warns you not to drive up like a dumbass, he gives you the impression that it's going to be that you're going to not be using vehicles except for very special occasions. And a lot of players at that point, if they were in a vehicle, they get out of the vehicle and they try to do this thing on foot. That's what I did as a new player of State of Decay, and I think that's what a lot of players do. And then over time, it slowly dawns on you that actually the threat of zombies from the noise that cars make is kind of low compared to the advantages that cars give you, and so you end up
About time you showed up.
changing your
Get the
mind.
show on the road. You're the newbie, so you get a bust in the window.
The door will make less noise. Or, hey, you could do it like a total fucking idiot. Up to you.
Just get us inside.
Now later on, in the later sort of the harder difficulties of Breakdown, that level of stealth ended up being really important. At sort of baseline State of Decay 1 difficulty, it kind of wasn't necessary. You didn't really need to sneak around the way that they're emphasizing. The thing is, I think the development team
How about years of
believed.
experience on the beat, huh?
I don't want to talk over them. Hold on.
I didn't realize the Department of Fish and Wildlife counted as a beat.
Laugh if you want. I'm still the only law enforcement officer on duty in this town.
Yeah, and if we gotta deal with any zombie trout, you'll be the first motherfucker I call. Goddamn motherfucking piece of shit.
What's wrong?
Hole in my fucking rucksack.
So tape it shut and keep loading.
Ah!
Let's ditch this one.
Got everything we need? Oh, hatchet broke. Ah! Anyway, one of the difficult things about game development is the fact that certain things take a long time and need a ton of lead time, especially voiceover. Like, you have to schedule voice recording resources, things like studio time, way in advance. You have to schedule, good audio directors way in advance. And you have to coordinate a lot of different actors who all need to find the time in their schedules, no matter what else they might be doing, to come and record for your game. And so that means you need a lot of lead time, which means that, for instance,
We gotta make this charity, man. Let's not waste all our damn ammo to boot.
let's go over and get in this car. Even if Alan doesn't like it.
No cars.
Hey, dipshit. I'm trying to be sneaky here.
Well, they're both jerks about it.
Dinner bell.
Fine.
Come on.
They won't get in the car. Anyway, yeah, so,
We go forward on
a lot of the time what you have to do is, like, when you're teaching players, when you're writing the dialogue that teaches players about your world and about how the game works,
Smack on the head.
you end up needing to record a lot of those lines while those same features
up and get moving. I'm not getting
are still in development. And so I think...
Me out of hell for trying to catch you.
sorry, they keep talking.
zombies on our 6. Stay alert.
Let's see if I stick around, maybe they won't say as much. So anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so oftentimes you have to write a lot of the dialogue that explains the game before the game fully works and before you've had a lot of experience playing the game yourself. And so you can end up, for instance, believing that stealth is going to be a more important part of your game than it is. And, believing that avoiding cars is going to be really important. You could write all that dialogue that way. By the way, I love that they're both looking at me the same way. You write all the dialogue, and then later you find out, oh, the game's a little different than I'm describing it, but it's a little late for that at that point. That's actually one advantage we had doing the Juggernaut edition for State of Decay 2 is we had, at that point, years of experience playing the game, and so we got to redo the tutorial from scratch, having all of that knowledge. Which isn't to say that tutorial is perfect, but it's an improvement over what we had originally. I'm just going to avoid infestations.
That's coming up part of the seams. At this rate, I'm gonna lose half this shit before we get home.
I'll go find us a ride.
No, goddammit! Cars are too dangerous. Just leave it.
Kiss my ass, Alan. Lily needs these meds.
Fuck you.
Get your ass back here, Alan. Alan! God damn it! Come on, let's find a ride and get this shit home.
Cover me!
I love how she just instantly changes her mind about the car. She's flexible. Alan is just whatever he said has got to be what goes.
So, Alan, huh?
You bet. He's a shithead, but look on the bright side. He's only about half as stupid as he looks. Plus, he's not half bad in a fight. Thanks for the ride. We'll take it from here.
We look like the FBI is staying here. Get all these black SUVs. Note that they didn't give me a rucksack. They're modeling rucksack carrying first.
We got your cyclophosphamide, Lily. I didn't see any of that meth or whatever.
Hey, you said we were getting antibiotics for Ed.
Relax. We got those too.
What the hell is going on here?
Okay, look. I've got this condition, lupus. It's chronic, no cure. Without medication, your friend needs antibiotics. I need medicine, so I kinda sent you to a place you might find both.
So, you used me.
I didn't.
Just let me know when you find a doc.
So notice we've got this thing called plus 25%, not percent, but plus 25 community fame, which is a thing that I'm not sure was actually used for anything meaningful. So I really want to... Oh, hey, we got a suppressor. That's right. It's the same size backpack. I really need a new weapon. I'm not sure the best place to scavenge for one. That really needs to be my next priority. I think that melee weapons were actually among the harder things to find. Or maybe I'm just remembering State of Decay 2. Anyway, let's head out with Lily. I mean, with Maya. One nice thing is, none of these vehicles use fuel. I don't have to worry about that at all. Though, I think I like worrying about fuel. I like having that as a concern. It is a fun vacation not to have to think about it. So this game originally was, I think, going to track fuel in vehicles. And they originally wanted to do a lot of things they didn't do. They wanted to worry about power, for instance, as a resource. Which, you know, we did add a version of in State of Decay 2. I'm not sure if that was intended as a ramp or not. I think it was. James McMillan just loved to fill the world with ramps. He's the artist who built this level. Level's world, Map. Map! Map's a better word for the kind of thing we're talking about here. Okay. So I thought of going to a house, but actually I think I'm going to go to the gun store first. I don't know how likely it is to have a melee weapon in it, but I do just have a lot of fond memories of searching this gun store. Like, it's always the first place I went whenever I played Breakdown, and it's, you know, it was a prominent destination for me when I was playing in Trumbull Valley in State of Decay 2. So, you know, it just feels special. Oh, bunch of stuff. Ah! Dang it. Anyway, I want that kukri. Ooh, we got flaming ammo. And a rucksack.
I'll run this home.
Roger that. We'll be waiting.
No, you stop that right now. Two screamers? Together? Oh, okay. So when this game originally shipped, this was it. I would have had to just go home with just that one rucksack, or call in like one person to come in and grab a single additional rucksack. But once we added vehicle trunks, that all changed. Now we actually give you the ability to carry a lot more on your own in a single scavenging run. And so that was huge for State of Decay 1. It completely changed the game. It was an update that it was a free update that we added at the same time that Lifeline came out. Like, we added the feature for Lifeline partially, but we also just extended it to the entire game. And gave it away free. You didn't have to buy Lifeline in order to get the feature, which certainly is an option we had. We just gave it for free to everybody. And that was kind of maybe the start of our sort of ongoing commitment to just continuously improving the game for free, in addition to selling DLC.
Confirmed. We're Zed free here.
So I can grab another rucksack and a revolver.
Sit tight. I'm bringing this stuff home.
We'll see you soon.
We've got a little bit more room. There were so many times where I had to jump off that balcony to escape zombies that were crowding the bottom floor. So, okay. I need to come back later to get the rest of that stuff. That's all I have room for. You will notice, by the way, I'm pretty sure that there are a lot more inventory slots on a typical character in State of Decay 2. Even if you're carrying, like, as long as you have a backpack, you've got more carrying capacity. Like, we know that that's what people want, and people still ask for even more carrying capacity. It's like, it's kind of hard to give people as much carrying capacity as they want. They'll always want more.
I'm almost there.
Eventually, there needs to be a limit.
What you got?
Oh, you know, stuff.
Okay, so note what happened here. I parked in this parking. So yeah, so we don't treat them like parking, like they're facility slots, but there are parking slots. And what happens is it automatically clears out all of the rucksacks from your inventory. So that makes that go a little faster. It doesn't clear out all of the other. Oh wait, I think I can stack up the flaming ammo. There we go. You do still, I think, have to manually carry in all the items, though. So I think we made a big improvement there in State of Decay 2.
Hello, Sam. I didn't see you at service last Sunday.
You didn't see anybody at service last Sunday, Will. Nobody goes to those things because the rest of us are too busy trying to stay alive.
You and Billy and Russ do good jobs. The way I see it, it's my job to see to the needs of our souls.
By sitting in an empty room with a
days did you spend sitting in an empty shelter with a pot of soup, just in case a hungry person showed up?
Yeah, well, that was different.
How so?
Most of those days I was hungover.
So one thing that you'll notice is in the original State of Decay, and I'd forgotten this, when you've got a stack of things, pushing A one time only moves one thing over into the supply locker. Whereas, in State of Decay 2, we assume you want to move them in entire stacks. And so we move an entire stack at a time. And then if you want to get one of an item, then that's a separate button press. And so we kind of reverse the situation from State of Decay 1, which is interesting to me. Just V says, I also loved how you took out the cost of influence to use stuff in the supply locker. Though it makes sense in a real life scene. I can't freely take stuff I want just because it's less for everyone else. Yeah, so basically we decided with State of Decay 2 to lean harder into the idea that you don't play a single person, you play an entire community. And so we kind of take for granted that the members of the community all have access to the supply locker and that you as the leader of the community can strategically decide who gets to carry what. Like even if an individual doesn't have the influence in a community to just grab whatever they want, the leader of the community could still, very legitimately choose to let somebody have a gun if they need a gun. And so the idea that you could not give somebody a certain gun because they didn't have the influence just felt weird. And so we decided to just say, yeah, things within your community are all free. Everybody shares. And then it's outside the community that you have to worry about spending influence. So Old Gravy Leg is asking about the fact that, in the original State of Decay 2, in the original State of Decay 1, ooh, who's this? Friendly Survivors. In the original State of Decay 1, there's this whole, almost real-time strategy mechanic where hordes would be converging towards your base. You would be able to see the direction hordes are moving on the map. You could tell, oh, this horde is going here, that horde is going there. And you could lay traps along the way by placing outposts on the routes to your house. And zombies tended to follow roads, and so if you just sort of placed strategic outposts in the right positions, you could stop sieges from happening at your base. And that was largely lost from State of Decay 2. And I think it was an oversight by us, not realizing how important it was to have that strategic level of playing the map. That is something I recognized as a player of State of Decay 1, but I didn't encourage it enough. I think none of us encouraged it enough as we were talking about sort of what was going to make State of Decay 2 exciting and successful. And we ended up, just sort of not bringing over some of those mechanics that actually made the map more interesting. And so that is something we've been talking about internally lately, is the idea that maybe that's something that does belong in the game, and that maybe not that exact mechanic of placing outposts with landmines to stop hordes of zombies, but just the idea that you would need to track the movements of the enemy on the map and make strategic decisions about where to go, what to defend against. And sort of have your worry about zombie invasions and zombie sieges be more about that than just about sort of either the luck of the draw or a timer or oh gosh, okay, that zombie's acting weird. So I've got a suppressor, I believe, which is why they let me do that. 2 zombies I can handle in melee. My lovely new kukri. One thing I need to remember, though, in State of Decay 1, when you break a weapon, it is broken. It is gone for good. Whereas in State of Decay 2,
We're happy to help however
it can still be repaired.
Don't think we're asking to freeload.
So if this
Happy to
kukri...
help any way we can, of course. Don't think we're asking to freeload.
So if that kukri starts falling apart, I should consciously stop using it so that I don't lose it forever.
What do you think?
Okay, so these folks are asking to join my community, and I'm like, yeah, sure, you should all join us at once.
Get packed up and head to your bed.
Because we did not have population limits in the original State of Decay. And so there was no,
Okay, loading up.
Wait.
Okay.
Oh, they're gathering stuff first. Oh, crap.
Zombies coming up behind us.
I'm just realizing that maybe I should have brought some fire. Oh well. Everybody get in. So yeah, so we didn't have a population limit, which meant you could have sort of a kind of a fakey situation where, you know, your community says it's got 50 people in it, but of course you still only see like 6 around the base at any given time. But one problem of that was, you know, it meant that you just, characters at that point just kind of turn into just numbers. They just turn into, you know, sort of pawns, and you aren't really required to get to know the characters. And so that was
Here we are.
a reason why we decided to go with population limits in State of Decay 2 instead, and really limit how often you can recruit people and in what numbers you can recruit people.
Heads up. Zombie activity, 3 o'clock.
Because we wanted you to actually get to know the characters. We wanted that to be an important part of the game.
Right? I mean, it doesn't suck.
So being friends with Margaret. Oh, that's not where the community channel is. Where is it? Here. So being friends with Margaret means that she is now a playable character, I think. So, like, I could switch to Margaret Beavers right now. Now I'm Margaret Beavers, who's one of the characters we just recruited. She is not well equipped, but I can give her this gun, this ammo. Oh, gosh! Hey, it's Marcus Mayonet, all helping me out. I feel like I'm among celebrities. So now Margaret here is ready to go out. I figure that, you know, Maya was going to get tired soon anyway. Oh, JediPsychTricks asks, how do you recruit someone as a follower if you can't see them at the base? Right now, we don't offer the ability to do that. That is something that folks are looking into. Is there a way that we can, for instance, make them your follower from the community screen? Because if we could do that, that would make it much easier to grab the follower you want without having to run around the base to find them. We're talking about State of Decay 2 here. Of course, State of Decay 1 is not going to get any advancements like that. It's an old game. Oh, right. I forgot. She doesn't have... defend me. She doesn't have a melee weapon. Let's get her one. How long have we been playing this? It's been about an hour, so maybe we should quit pretty soon. Yeah, it is kind of fun to go back and see the original State of Decay. Again, so LB plus Y is how you would do that move. So on one hand, this move was harder to do because it was a button chord. And actually, you can remember, those of you who played State of Decay 2 from the beginning, since before the Juggernaut edition, we had a similarly difficult to do button chord. I think it was right trigger and X instead of left bumper and Y to do those execution moves with zombies. But for me as a player, like once I learned that button chord, it became really important to me that this game was really about, like the combat system was really about getting the heads of the zombies. Like you could, you know, do normal brawler stuff, just like wail on a zombie with a wrench or something like that, and that was just fine. But like the best way to play was to think with each zombie, how am I going to get him on the ground and then hit him with a headshot? And you'll notice these zombies fall down and into this sort of crouching position more readily in this game than they do in State of Decay 2. Because this game is like leaning really hard into the idea that you have to go after the head. And I think that's actually a place where we originally didn't do the best job of sort of translating the feel of the combat system from State of Decay 1 to State of Decay 2, is we really did not emphasize those headshots being really important in melee combat. Of course, they're important in ranged combat, but they weren't that important in melee combat. And so one of the reasons why we switched it up in the Juggernaut edition and we moved buttons around to let you hit the Y button to take out a zombie. And then more recently, Brian Rouleau went in and made it so those Y prompts happen much more quickly and readily in State of Decay 2 now. Like right when you knock a zombie down, even if your character's in the middle of another animation, you will still get that Y prompt, you know, telling you to go for the head. And let's see here. And so again, that sort of emphasizes the importance of going after the heads, because you know when you're playing a zombie game, you want it to feel like it's not just any other game and the enemies happen to be zombies. You want there to be elements of what you're doing that make the zombies feel really important.
I'm loaded up. See you back at base.
We'll be ready.
Did I drive here? I don't even remember what I did to get down here. Oh, I didn't, but there is a car. Let's take this one back to base. So yeah, we are running low on time, so I think maybe this is my last little scavenging run, but thank you, JediPsychTricks, for encouraging me to play this. This actually has been really fun to...
We'll crack open a cold one for you.
It's been fun to sort of go over a lot of the changes that happened between State of Decay 1 and State of Decay 2 and sort of why they happened. What am I doing? Oh yeah, that's right. I can't teleport stuff in from the car trunk. I just got so used to that in State of Decay 2, being able to teleport stuff in from standing in a car trunk, but that's not how it works.
Don't say I never gave you anything.
My hero.
So we'll drop some of this stuff off. And yeah, I guess we'll probably wrap it there. So apparently somebody is suggesting that I should hydrate. Okay, I got the water bottle right here. I can do that. Just V points out that knee crush execute was so satisfying in the original State of Decay. Yeah, there were some really kind of cool, dramatic combat moves in that game that never carried over to State of Decay 2. Came up with a whole different set. All right, so somebody named Sky Blue Aqua might have asked a question that I missed earlier. That's what somebody's trying to remind me. Oh, okay, so Sky Blue Aqua asks, so in the built-in watchtowers in Fort Marshall, those 3 people only shoot at zombies outside the base, so if a Juggernaut gets in and your team is ill-equipped, your people could be in big trouble. That's a very good note. I had not heard of that. So I feel like I have heard people talking about it, so it might be already on somebody's radar, but I'll make a note of that. So, watchtower, Fort Marshall, outward only. That'd be an interesting thing for somebody to solve. So yeah, anyway, again, thank you, JediPsychTricks, for... Oh, this is where you are. Thank you, JediPsychTricks, for encouraging me to play State of Decay 1. That was fun, a little fun blast from the past. I think it opened up some interesting topics for us to discuss, so I really appreciate it. If you want to see more delicious State of Decay content, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Which is going to have a button right there if you're watching it later on YouTube. The next State of Decay video that I do, I'll put a link to it right there. There. How do I... I'm really used to the other camera angle. I can't do this. Whatever. Click things.